We return now to our examination of the Antichrist, now looking to some of the saints and great thinkers more broadly of the Catholic faith from the Middle Ages, having previously looked at church fathers. First, we turn to St. John Damascene, who had the following to say: "Everybody who denies the incarnation of the Son of God and that Jesus Christ is true God and perfect man, such person is Antichrist. But in a more special and principal manner he will be known as Antichrist, who shall come about the end of the world. His mother will proclaim she gave birth to him while remaining a virgin. He will reign from ocean to ocean. Antichrist shall be an illegitimate child under the complete power of Satan. And God, knowing his incredible future perversity, will allow the devil to take a full and perpetual possession of him from his very sinful conception." St. John Damascene, with St. Cyril of Jerusalem, affirms that, quote, "Though Antichrist will from his childhood have the most wicked and cruel disposition, yet inspired by a preternatural precocious malice, he will practice the most consummate hypocrisy, deceiving our elder brothers in the faith and all his followers. In proportion as he shall advance in age, knowledge, vice, and power, his ambitions will become excessive. He will not only strive for universal dominion over men upon earth, but as St. Paul teaches, he will oppose and be lifted up above all that is called God, or that is worshipped. Namely, Antichrist will oppose all that is duly or unduly worshipped, and be lifted up by his satanic pride and ambition above all that is called God, not allowing men to worship any other being but himself, as if he were the only God, so that he sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself as if he were God. He shall speak words against the High One, and he shall crush the saints of the Most High, and shall think himself able to change times and laws." See the prophecy of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25. The Antichrist, according to Rabanus Maurus, who passed away in the year 856. "Our principal doctors agree in announcing to us that towards the end of time, one of the descendants of the kings of France shall reign over all the Roman Empire, and that he shall be the greatest of the empire, and that he shall be the greatest of the French monarchs, and the last of his race. After having most happily governed his kingdom, he will go to Jerusalem, and depose on Mount Olivet his scepter and crown. This shall be the end and conclusion of the Roman and Christian Empire. Antichrist will heal the sick, raise the dead, restore sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, speech to the dumb, raise storms and calm them, rename mountains, make trees flourish and wither at a word, rebuild the temple of Jerusalem, and make Jerusalem the capital of the world with the vast wealth from hidden treasure." Antichrist, according to St. Methodius, who passed away in 885. "A time will come when the enemies of Christ will boast, 'We have subjected the earth and all its inhabitants, and the Christians cannot escape our hands.' Then a Roman emperor will rise in great fury against them. Drawing his sword, he will fall upon the foes of Christianity and crush them. Then peace and quiet will reign on earth, and the priests will be relieved of all their anxieties. In the last period, Christians will not appreciate the great grace of God who provided a great monarch, a long duration of peace, a splendid fertility of the earth. They will be very ungrateful, lead a sinful life in pride, vanity, unchastity, frivolity, hatred, avarice, gluttony, and many other vices that the sins of men will stink more than a pestilence before God. Many men will doubt whether the Catholic faith is the true and only saving one, and whether our elder brothers are perhaps correct when they still expect the Messiah. Many will be the false teachings and resultant bewilderment. The just God will in consequence give Lucifer and all his devils power to come on earth and tempt his godless creatures." Antichrist, according to Adso the monk, who passed away in the year 992. It would seem that the interpretation of the name Antichrist as given by the monk Adso was the most common, although many characteristics of Antichrist are seemingly based rather on the concept of, quote, one resembling Christ in appearance and power. In keeping with his interpretation, he lists a few traits of Antichrist which are contrary to the character of Christ. Christ was humble, Antichrist will be proud. Christ came to raise the lowly and redeem sinners. Antichrist will reject the humble and glorify sinners and teach the vices which are contrary to the Christian virtues. He will condemn evangelical law, seek his own glory, and will call himself the omnipotent God. Antichrist will be born of parents of our elder brother's kinship, of the tribe of Dan, but his mother will not be a virgin, as many believe. As the Holy Ghost came into the heart of Mary, so will the devil enter into the mother of Antichrist, and his diabolical power will always support Antichrist. Babylon will be his birthplace, but he will be reared and instructed in Bethsaida and Chorazin. After his education at the hands of malignant spirits, he will go to Jerusalem and place his seat in the temple, which he will have restored. He will submit to the rite of circumcision, proclaiming that he is the son of the omnipotent God. His first converts will be kings and princes. His influence will be extended from sea to sea, largely through force and persuasive eloquence. He will perform many signs and great miracles. Those who believe in him will be marked on the forehead with a sign. For 3.5 years he will hold sway, and at the end of that period he will destroy Enoch and Elias, who have previously opposed him by preaching the true faith. Shortly afterwards Christ will appear, and Antichrist will be slain by the archangel Michael. The Antichrist according to St. Anselm, who passed away in 1109. Antichrist will rule the world from Jerusalem, which he will make into a magnificent city. Antichrist according to Legenda Aurea of the 12th century. Advent, or the coming of the Lord, is celebrated during 4 weeks in order to signify that this coming is of 4 kinds, namely in the flesh, in the spirit, in death, and at the last judgment. The last week remains uncompleted, to signify the glory of the elect, such as the last coming of the Lord will bestow upon them, will be without end. But although this coming is in reality fourfold, the Church is especially concerned with 2 forms of its forms, namely, the coming in the flesh and the coming of the last judgment. The circumstances which will precede the last judgment are of 3 sorts: terrible signs, the imposture of Antichrist, and an immense conflagration. The last judgment will be preceded by the impostor Antichrist, who will try to deceive men in 4 ways. 1, by a false exposition of the Scriptures, wherein he will try to prove that he is the Messiah promised by the law. 2, by accomplishing miracles. 3, by distribution of gifts. And 4, by the infliction of punishments. And that is the first part of our examination of the Antichrist according to some of the great minds, some of the great saints and not saints, but some of the great minds of Catholicism from the Middle Ages. Something to think about, I think. Let me know what you think of this in the comments, please. Is any of this news to you? Many people are shocked to hear that the man of sin will come from the tribe of Dan, from among the ranks of our elder brethren. They then try to turn the tribe of Dan into, I've seen things like from people of Scottish ancestry or Danish ancestry. It won't be. He will be of our same lineage, same kinship as our elder brothers in the faith, so to speak. As hard as that might be for some people today to accept. I'm curious what you think of this, so let me know in the comments, please. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't. It does help. Sharing this on social media helps a lot too, and as always, pray for the church. I'm Anthony Stine. Ave Maria.